Hey there, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to this DPCD update. I hardly need to tell you, I'm sure, but we're talking about the Department of Planning and Community Development. You'll also be familiar with my guest, so to speak, Claire Ricker, who is the director of that department in town. Claire, good morning.
Good morning to you, James.
Hope you have a good rest of your day and week, but let's get right to business. We've got several updates as usual to get. We want to talk about some economic development and sustainable energy activities, and then a reminder to take the annual town survey will also be forthcoming as well. Well, sorry, there's a new project that I want to start with, and it's excuse me, launching shortly, and it looks at improvements around the intersection of the Minuteman Bikeway and the Ed Burns Arena and Ryder Street, potentially very busy area. I've spent a lot of time there myself. So what should residents know?
Sure. So this is a Minuteman Bikeway Improvement Project at Ed Burns Arena and Ryder Street. The project will create a preliminary design of the bikeway from the playground access walk at Hills Hill to the eastern end of the Forest Street Bridge. Redesigning this area of the trail was designated a high priority amongst community members as part of the Minuteman Bikeway Planning Project, which was completed in 2022. We're considering improvements such as potentially a splitter island for the crossing at Ryder Street, wayside pull-off areas, trail widening, and potentially a separated walking trail to create dedicated space for pedestrians in the area. We have released 3 conceptual design alternatives that the community can provide feedback on via an online form that can be found on the project webpage. Please provide all feedback by March 9th. Following this public comment period, the community's preferred conceptual design will be selected and a preliminary detailed design will be developed. And you can learn much more about this project and its timeline on the town's project page.
Sounds great. And I'm sure people will be weighing in. I'm sure you're used to that. Um, so let's move on to, there's several things you want to tell us about that kind of fit under the umbrella of economic development. So have at it.
Okay, great. Yeah, we have a lot of economic development updates, starting with the Arlington Heights Visioning Survey. This is a reboot of some work that was done before the pandemic, looking at the Arlington Heights neighborhood. We're seeking input from residents, businesses, community members about their vision for Arlington Heights. We want to hear about how we can improve the Arlington Heights community. The survey is part of the Arlington Heights Neighborhood Action Plan, which seeks to re-envision and energize this historic commercial area via potential zoning changes. The survey is out now. The deadline to take that survey is March 14th. We also have some local arts and culture grants that have been awarded. The Arlington Commission for Arts and Culture, otherwise known as ACAC, has awarded 23 grants totaling nearly $22,000 to a wide variety of arts and cultural projects. The projects were prioritized if they elevated the voices and experience of marginalized groups or recognized the 250th anniversary and Arlington's role in that history. You can visit the ACAC website for a full listing of awardees. And then finally, for economic development, William Dawes is on the loose in Arlington. William Dawes is the second Ryder from the night of April 18th, 1775, which was the start of the American Revolution. A full-size cutout of this quiet hero will be traveling around town to Arlington's businesses and community spaces through April to warn residents of the upcoming British invasion. And of course, by this we mean the reenactment of the Battle of Menotomy that will take place on Sunday, April 20th. If you find William Dawes out in the wild, please take a selfie with him and post it to social media with the hashtag Arlington250. And thank you to the Arlington 250 committee for coordinating this, what should be a really fun project.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it sounds like. Super fun and yeah, very, very creative. So love that. And kudos to those responsible for that kind of thinking. That's great. And I'll also just throw in quickly, Claire, that we had a first-time visitor to our studio up here at ACMi recently who just took the bus up Mass Ave and noticed that a couple of simple touches in the Arlington Heights area,
Mm,
including the kind of the cohesiveness of the signage of a number of the storefronts, really struck their eye, and they really felt like that was kind of a sign of a cohesive community. So that these are the kinds of things that are already noted, and that obviously people will be participating in a vision to push those things forward. So that's great.
fantastic.
There is a sustainable energy event, I understand, that you want to tell us about.
Sure. So this was an event that happened on Saturday, January 25th. Electrify Arlington hosted a fantastic and very successful heat pumps home tour. A total of 87 participants got to experience and learn about air and ground source heat pumps and solar hot water technologies in 3 different locations in Arlington. And many thanks to the 3 residents who generously opened up their homes for this event. And I'd like to offer some kudos to Arlington's energy advocate, Lori Kenshaft, who planned this very successful event. And as always, you can find information on heat pumps and other clean energy technologies at arlingtonma.gov/electrify.
I certainly remember you mentioning this in our last DPCD update, and I'm thrilled to hear that almost 90
Yes.
folks and families kind of found out about this stuff. It has been, I don't know if it's life changing, but certainly a big change in our household over these last 6, 7 years with these
Mm,
heat pumps. And I think everybody who has had them installed is quite happy with the with that decision. So
yeah.
this is great news.
Yeah.
And then finally, there is the annual town survey. Please let us know.
Sure, that's right. So the Envision Arlington Annual Town Survey is open now. It has been open for the last several weeks. This is a reminder that the deadline to complete the annual town survey is March 3rd. We're seeking feedback on such topics as education, electrification, trees, and ACMI. You can find the survey at arlingtonma.gov/survey.
Great. Anything else to share with our audience before we let you go?
Nothing new to report from my end. We just keep on doing great work in this office.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Claire Ricker is the director of our Department of Planning and Community Development, and she has joined us for this DPCD update, as she always does. Appreciate her time again and the information she shares, and we appreciate your time as well. This is James Milan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.